Hello, this is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net with our preview video this week for the 49ers game. Bucs are coming off of a Monday night victory over the Colts, have a short week, are traveling West Coast, which has not been a particularly warm and dry place for them to play. They're playing a 49ers team that holds a 15-4 advantage career lifetime over the Buccaneers. Though we handled them soundly last year, the 49ers are actually a much different team from an attitude perspective than they were last year. A lot of the same players, but Coach Harbaugh's got these guys playing football, and they're reminiscent to me, going back and watching their games, of where we were last year. This is a team that, in many people's opinion, are overachieving given the talent that they have, but the talent is pretty significant when you look at it piece by piece. Defensively, this is a team, and Josh Freeman, in an article on Joe Bucs Fan this week, actually said this is one of the best front sevens we'll probably face all year. With the combination of Justin Smith and Ray McDonald, these guys are constantly getting after the quarterback. They play predominantly a 3-4, but it's not a 3-4 like the Ravens 3-4 or the Steelers 3-4, where there's a lot of misdirection and confusion where the blitzes are going to come from. This is a defense that historically you've always talked about Pat Willis at the linebacker spot. But right now, everyone knows him, but Navarro Bowman is quietly kicking everyone's teeth in from the linebacker spot. He's got 33 tackles and 21 stops, according to Pro Football Focus, which is amazing. I went back and watched the Philadelphia Eagles game. This guy was all over the field, and when he hits you, you go backwards. Now, the combination of those two ends and a linebacking core that's solid makes that front seven something that we've definitely got to be concerned about. Now, I look at a ratio of sacks, hits, and pressures, and I get that data from Pro Football Focus. Right now, the 49ers defense has 10 sacks, 19 hits, and 63 quarterback pressures on the year. Now, our Bucs defense, 10 sacks, equal with them, with only 13 hits and a mere 37 pressures. Now, that's the thing. We've talked about sacks as a stat, and while sacks are important, pressures are oftentimes more important. Those pressures are the things we have to be careful of. When I watched the Philadelphia Eagles game, Michael Vick played Houdini a lot against that defense. And again, it wasn't because they were running any sort of esoteric blitzes. These ends just flat get after it. So from a keys to the game perspective, this is one of the things we're going to have to revisit, which is that offensive line that has continued to kind of come together over the season is going to have to continue to gel. But when I look at the keys to the game, I'm going to go to the other side. Our defense, which has been resurgent, the defensive front four specifically, is going to have to take advantage of an offensive line that is not very good. They've tried to solidify it with guys like Anthony Davis and Joe Staley. These guys are giving up pressures constantly. I think it's going to be another opportunity for the left side of our defensive line to play well. I talked about it last week with Michael Bennett. He ended up having a great game. Gerald McCoy, same situation. I think these guys, once again, will be able to take advantage of the right side of that offensive line, though I think that the tape on Bennett is going to scare them enough that they're going to shift protections. And I think Gerald McCoy could have a standout game this week against the 49ers. Now, with that pressure should come the opportunity for turnovers, which we managed to dribble down our legs last week and the week before. We've got to make sure we convert those. The easiest way for us to make sure that San Francisco continues their high rate of 3-and-outs is to get them off the field either through the strong defense or through creating some of those turnover opportunities, fumbles, loose balls, those sorts of things. It wreaks havoc on a team. From an offensive perspective, I think Coach Olson has finally come to the realization that 20-plus touches is the right number for LeGarrette Blount, and that is a terrific way to guarantee that the other team cannot get quarterback pressures if you don't have your quarterback drop back. Yes, I know that the 49ers are giving up 74 yards per game, and they shut down LaShawn McCoy. LeGarrette Blount is a different kind of back. He only gained 30-ish yards in the first half last week, and then he came on and gained another 90 yards in the second half. You've got to fatigue this defense, which is built on speed. You do that by pounding the ball right down their throats. I think that's what the Bucs are going to do. I do look for Gerald McCoy to have the big game this week on defense on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's going to be LeGarrette Blount again, assuming we can continue to get the ball in his hands. And I think the Bucs are going to pull out a victory this week, 24-13, on the trip to the West Coast and move to 4-1, starting this quarter, which is going to be a horrific quarter for us between them, 2 games against the Saints and the game against the Bears. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys for a review after the game.